Hi, my name is Coach Felicia Mycyk, and I coach people in business, life, and sports. I help them reach an unprecedented level of self-leadership by amplifying the leader within them. I believe the current state of women leadership is the fact that we are out there. We are in leadership and we are making ourselves known of who we are and what we're capable of doing. I believe that we're no longer saying that there's a glass ceiling. We're saying that we are beyond that glass ceiling and we want to maintain those positions. I feel that the younger women are saying, they're looking at there's not a competition anymore with saying that women are not advancing other women. I believe that everyone is now finally starting to work together. It's not I can only be the only woman here. I'm willing to lift up those women, and the younger women know that hey, I do have mentors at that next stage. The best piece of leadership advice that I received was know who you are and deliver it at all times. I think that's the biggest thing that you have to do is if you come authentically yourself, um, that confidence will glow off of you. I think if you understand who you are, uh, you people want you. If they wanted someone else, they would have went that direction, but they chose you. So come to the rooms as yourself because that's who they wanted. Don't try to be anyone else. If there's one skill that I believe that women should have in their leadership toolkit, it would be um, confidence. I think you have to go into a room knowing who you are and delivering it at all times. I've heard that said before, and it resonates with me because I think if you do not have confidence, you're not going to walk in a room commanding that presence. You see people walk into a room all the time, and you just look at them like, wow, like I noticed them immediately. And that's a confidence that comes within because you're well prepared. You know what's going on. So I believe the one thing in your toolkit is that making sure that you have that confidence. Knowing who you are provides that confidence. Knowing who you are will allow you deliver your message the way that you want it to be heard at all times because you know who you are. So when I think of people wanting to move forward in their leadership, I believe that everyone has to identify what their skill set is, and I think that starts with taking an audit, like an actual audit of your own self. Take a self discovery to gain clarity and confidence on what you're actually doing well. You need to take steps to better understand your goals and how you want to achieve them, but you have to take an audit of what skill sets you currently have. People always say, fake it till you make it. I won't say I'm not a fan of that. I would say that there's another way of reframing that. I believe that you need to practice it until you get it. So it's not fake it until you make it. You need to practice it until you get it. So every time, give yourself a goal. Tell yourself, like when you go into a networking event, put yourself in situations that you have to practice. Continue to put yourself in situations that will help you know that, okay, I struggle with public speaking. So now I need to put myself in situations that it will purposely make me a better speaker. I know I struggle with small talk. I need to put myself in situations that will allow me to practice my small talk. So going into this is where Rotary comes in too, because there's so many different types of events that you can get involved with. There's networking events, there's leadership events. If I'm not good at planning, I'll put myself on a committee to learn how to plan. I put myself in situations that will help me build my confidence up. So in my work environment, it's a transferable skill now. I learned this I was here with Rotary. I learned how to do public image. I learned how to do public speaking. I learned how to sit on a committee. I've learned so many things, and this is how people need to talk to themselves. So when I think about going into a situation and being prepared, where you're practicing until you get it right. So I'm a sports coach, and it comes down to when I think of preparing, practicing until you get it right. I tell people that they are conditioning. Every day we're conditioning out in sports. And when you condition, you keep practicing and you don't stop when you get it right. You stop when you can't get it wrong. And that's what I think leadership is. You keep going until you can't get it wrong. You keep practicing so you don't just show up and say, I'm a leader. You don't just fake it until you make it. You keep practicing until you can't get it wrong. And when you can't get it wrong, you'll be able to feel that. You'll understand because you walk into a room and you command the presence. I think it's never too late for you to reach to build your leadership toolkit. I think it's never too late. I call it playbook in my world. It's never too late to build your playbook. I believe that when you get to a certain level, when you hit your goal, at that point you evolve into that next level. I wanted to share a story about moving, not staying stuck and moving forward. Years ago, I learned that I wanted to be a football player. I wanted to be a wide receiver. I wanted to catch the ball and run it in for a touchdown. And I thought, man, that would be so perfect for me. So I practiced and I found out that my skill set, what I had going for me was I could run fast, I could jump high, and I can run in multiple directions. So what I decided was I wanted to still play football. However, for me to be a wide receiver, I wasn't the best with catching the ball, but I could do a defensive back. So I didn't give up my goal of being a football player. I just needed to figure out where my skills were best utilized at. Then from there, I practiced and I conditioned because I wanted to start on the team. I wanted to be a starter. So the only way that I didn't want to be told where I was going to go. I wanted to actually name the position I wanted. So I practiced and I worked hard so I could earn that position of a starter. So now I'm starting, I'm doing great. I told my mentor, like, oh my God, no one's catching the ball on my side of the field. And he's like, good. You're a good defensive back, but you'll never be a great one. I was like, why not? I'm doing great. No one's catching the ball. No one's scoring touchdowns on my side of the field. He said, if you want to be great, you need to learn how to catch the ball. You need to get interceptions. And I was like, so now I had to go back and practice. So I practiced even harder. I became determined. And you know what? I was intentional about the movements I was making because I knew I wanted to be the best. So now I eventually caught my first interception. I was so proud of myself. It was ugly, but it was still caught. And I just kept practicing till I couldn't get it wrong after that. So now I accomplished all my goals. But then I was like, I still want to still be in football. But I was feeling there was something missing. And I wanted to have a baby. And I was like, oh, you've never seen a pregnant football player. So I decided, like, what can I do next? I needed to evolve. I needed to set what I was going to do next. I just had to evolve. I didn't have to take myself out of football. I just needed to figure out how can I reframe that. So I decided I was going to be a coach. I was going to learn how to coach. And I decided to be a coach of the boys. So I started coaching the boys' school, boys' football team. And now I'm coaching girls' football too with flag football. So the whole thing is just don't stop. If you want something, you're going to go for it. You have to take your position on the team. If you want something, you have to fight for it and you have to condition for it. You have to be intentional about your steps and don't give up. And if it's not the position you want, just realize that you can change it. You can figure out, okay, well, what can I do? This is what I'm good at. How can I still stay involved? So you can always level up your playbook, level up your leadership toolkit by just adding more skill sets to you, learning more, figuring out what else can you do. People talk about burnout a lot. I am years ago, I learned that for me to be successful, I needed to manage my energy. I know how many hours I have in a day. I know how many hours I have in a week and what I want to accomplish throughout my week. And the only way that I can accomplish those things and be the most productive self is I need to understand that I need not to be burned out. I need not to be always on the grind, always on the go. So it's really taking time out to understand that you have to have healthy distractions in your life. But yeah, taking an audit of your time is the first thing I believe anybody needs to do because it's not even time management, it's all about energy management. So if I have 168 hours in a week and I really want to I really want to make a difference in my business, or I want to make a difference in my world. I want to take my leadership to that next level. I really have to take time to understand my energy levels and how much time I have. So people always say, manage your time. I say, manage your energy. Understand that 168 hours in a week, you have 24 hours in a day. What are you going to be able to accomplish? You need to have sleep. You need to make sure you have time with your family. You want to wake up feeling productive. You want to go to sleep feeling relaxed. So you can start your day off. You want to go into your meetings feeling confident and prepared. So it all takes time to saying, okay, look, in the morning, I am my most productive in the morning. So, between 5 and 7, I'm going to work out, or 5 and 7, I'm going to do my tedious tasks, because these are the time when I can truly focus. So when you get to a point that you feel like you're burned out, you need to realize that that happens to all of us. And it's okay. Sometimes you just have to remind yourself that I need to recharge. And how do you recharge? It's healthy with distractions. Recharging means taking time, stepping back, and realizing that I need a break. You don't want your body to force you into a break. You don't want your job to force you into a break. You want to be aware and so confident of who you are, knowing what you can do, knowing when it's time to take a healthy distraction. And healthy distractions are taking a walk. Healthy distraction is comedy, laughing, doing something to stop your mind from burning out, stopping your mind from getting anxious, stopping yourself from going into a depressional state. Take time and find healthy distractions that helps you move forward. You can't stay motivated 100% of the time, so you have to be intentional about your health, intentional about your mindset. You don't want to. Energy is a commodity, and we don't want to waste it.